What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris
Am on.
podcast, episode 243, Takeover Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good night, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work. We appreciate y'all tapping into the live stream. You're listening on the playback. We appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comment section. Got a few things to speak on tonight. Got some NBA stuff. We're gonna do an NBA expansion draft that Maul has drawn up. We're gonna give our predictions on the Major League Baseball this year. We're also gonna talk about a little NFL news, a little bit of March Madness. Also, we got a fight this weekend: Keith Thurman versus Fundora, and we also have Maul's random news. And we got some other things too. But till we get into all that, Maul, how you feeling, sir?
Feeling good, sir. Feeling good, man. Can't complain. Ready to talk about these topics. What about you, man? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
Mark, what's up, Mark? What's up?
Mark? Yeah, man. Feeling good, man. You know, like you, ready to get into these topics, bro.
Man, let's do it, man. Let's get into it.
All right, man. I wanted to start here. I know we kind of talked about it on Monday, but now that we kind of got the full picture, especially on the women's side, let's talk a little bit of March Madness. I'll start with the ladies first. So we got UConn versus North Carolina, Notre Dame versus Vanderbilt, South Carolina versus Oklahoma, TCU versus Virginia, UCLA versus Minnesota, Duke versus LSU, Texas versus Kentucky, and Louisville versus Michigan. I know games start tomorrow. The girls start on Friday, but the men start tomorrow. How are you feeling about these matchups? Do you like these matchups? Do you see any intriguing matchups?
Man, I think a lot of these games are going to be matchups. Like I think the UConn North Carolina game, I think that's going to be very interesting. Shout out to the Lady Tar Heels. You know, I'm a North Carolina fan. It's going to be a big, tough opponent going up against UConn. I have UConn winning that matchup, but I think North Carolina can surprise those ladies. But we all know how deep UConn is. We've seen Fudd go off, you know what I mean, and the boatload of talent that they have. I think it'll be tough. I think the UNC Tar Heel ladies, I think they'll give a good show, but I do have them winning that matchup. The Notre Dame Vanderbilt game. Look, I'm gonna pick upset, man. I think Notre Dame. I think those ladies and what they got going on, man. I think they're clicking at the right time. I got them going to winning that, and then going into the next round, facing UConn, getting that rematch to see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Two familiar foes going into the next round, so I got that one as a win. Going down a little bit further, I got South Carolina. I think they're going to dominate Oklahoma. I just think they're just too deep, too big, and I think they're highly motivated. And then they're just used to being in this moment compared to Oklahoma. No disrespect to the Oklahoma Sooners and those ladies. I know they've been playing very well all season, but just too big of a opponent. And then TCU Virginia, man. Yo, shout out to those ladies. You know, over at Virginia, man, making a big upset against Iowa. I think I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to go with those ladies, man. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers, man. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to have them winning against TCU, have that Cinderella run going. TCU did struggle against Washington. You know what I mean? I think Virginia, they've been playing very well defensively and offensively. So I'm going to go with those ladies. Louisville versus Michigan. I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to side with Michigan. I think they've been dominant all year. I think Louisville and Michigan, that could be the game of the day as far as like the Sweet 16 round. But I'm going to go with Michigan. Next up, I got Texas dominating. I think they've been probably the second best team in the nation next to UConn. So I'm going to go with those ladies. I just think they've been clicking. Duke, LSU, we all know that's going to be a slugfest. But I'm gonna go with Flage, man. I'm gonna go with them ladies and the Tigers, man. I'm gonna go with them with the win over the Duke Blue Devils. I think that's gonna be a tough matchup. But I got LSU winning, and then I got UCLA. I think they're gonna dominate against Minnesota. So those are my picks.
I hear you. Notre Dame and Vanderbilt. I think Hannah goes off, man. I think Hannah goes off. I'm with you with the upset. I think Hannah goes off, and I think she shows why she's a lottery pick next year and why she's going to be a top pick going into next season. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. North Carolina, UConn. I think they put up a good fight, but I just think UConn's a buzzsaw, man. And I just think Ozzie Fudd, Sarah Strong, KK Arnold, like I just think those girls are just too locked in. They just too locked in, man. So shout out to North Carolina, man. But I just, you know what I'm saying, I just think UConn's just that great, man. Same thing with UCLA, man. I just think that those girls, they got too much over there. Laura Betts is a walking 35 points. Like, that girl is unstoppable. You can't stop her. So, and then Rice, Kiki Rice, she's good too, man. Like, she's a baller too. So, and then I'm with you with Duke and LSU. This might be the game of the week for the women. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that Notre Dame and Vanderbilt might have something to say about that. But I think this LSU game of the week. But I'm a roll. I'm with you. I got LSU. I just think LSU has been here at these spots before, and I just think that Flage and all the rest of those ladies are just gonna rise to the occasion. So, and then on Saturday, I'm with you. I got Michigan winning over Louisville. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I got Michigan winning. I'm with you with Texas. I think Texas is gonna roll Kentucky, and then I think South Carolina is gonna roll Oklahoma. I just think the few times that they face each other, I just think South Carolina is in Oklahoma's head. Like the coach was even complaining the last time they faced each other. So, and then I hear you about Virginia, and I'm not mad at your assessment. I'm gonna roll with Olivia Miles. I think that she's got to pull it. She's got to play a lot better than what she's been playing, man. Like she's got to be more efficient with her shooting and picking her shots and stuff like that. The team around her's got to be more efficient. I'm gonna roll with TCU, but I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia wins that game.
Kamora Johnson been hoping, man. I'm just saying, she been hoping.
Yes. All right, man. Let's go to the men's side. You got Texas versus Purdue, Iowa versus Nebraska, Arkansas versus Arizona, Illinois versus Houston. This is all tomorrow. And then Friday, you got St. John's versus Duke, Alabama versus Michigan, Michigan State versus UConn, and Tennessee versus Iowa State. How are you feeling about these games?
Man, here we go. Let the men's tournament begin, baby, because this is when it get really good, man. All these matchups are lovely, man. It's not a boring game in sight in any of these. But look, we'll start with this. Arizona, Arkansas, look. Acuff Jr., man, been a dog. He can easily be talked about as easily being the number one overall pick. I think he can easily be top 3. He's probably played some of the boss ball. He's going to have to give us a Kemba Walker performance. Arizona is probably the most completed team in the entire nation. I think they're the best team in the entire nation currently right now. And him and Bradley going up against each other, that's going to be a chef's kiss matchup. You know, we all know how great of a perimeter defensive player he is. Going up against Acuff Jr., that's going to be the thing to watch. And I think Arkansas is going to give him a really good matchup. It's going to be tough. We see Arizona have certain flaws to its game. I'm gonna still pick Arizona with just how deep it is, but I personally would not be shocked if Arkansas were to pull the upset in that. If Acuff went off for like 40, I wouldn't be surprised. Next up, Texas and Purdue. I'm gonna go with Texas. I think Texas is gonna pull the upset, man. I think just with I forgot the head coach's name that's on Texas, but he's been very familiar as far as like in making deep tournament runs. I apologize for that, but and it's always something about Purdue. I know Purdue always has like good squads and stuff like that, but it's always something about Purdue where they never get over the hump. You know what I mean? Like they just struggle in tournament and fast, especially in matchups like this. So I'm personally gonna go with Texas. That's just me. Next up, Michigan, Alabama. I'm gonna go with Michigan. I just think that after that big time loss that they had in the Big Ten championship game, it seems like they got their energy back. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Michigan. I think they'll end up pulling that win, and I won't be surprised if they won by double digits. Tennessee and Iowa State. I'm gonna go with Iowa State, man. I just think Iowa State is just too good of a team. I like Tennessee, but I have seen some flaws with them. They are ultra talented, especially with Amon and all that. Yeah, Sean Miller. Thank you. Yeah, he used to coach Arizona, and I'm gonna go with Iowa State. I just think Tennessee has too many flaws. Illinois versus Houston. I think Illinois is a very, very solid squad. Very, very solid squad. I like that young man. They got Stojakovic. They got the son of Peja on that team. You know, he's been hooping. You also got like Barry. Excuse me. You also got like Kyle Beasley, Keaton Wagler, and all those guys. But I just think it's Houston's time. You know what I mean? Sampson, you know, he's had many squads that have made it to this point and they've never been able to get over the hump. I just like this team and what they've been and what they become. They went through all the heartaches. I think they're ready for matchups like this. So I got Houston winning, and I think they're playing in Houston too. So I think that's an advantage right there as itself. Iowa versus Nebraska. I'm gonna go with Nebraska. I think that upset with Florida was very shocking. I did not expect Iowa to beat Florida, so I'm gonna go with Nebraska. I just think they're the better team. And then this top bracket right here, the East is just nasty. You got Michigan State versus UConn. I'm gonna go with Michigan State. I just like the guard play way better than what they have. I just think they're just a better team. UConn has their flaws, but that is going to be a tough matchup. But I got Michigan State winning. And then I think the matchup of all matchups of the weekend is Duke versus St. John's. I got them boys from New York, man. I got them boys from New York. I know Duke is getting a little bit healthier, but I like this St. John's squad. I'm rooting for this St. John's squad because I hate Duke with all my passion. So St. John's, I'm rolling with you. Please don't make me be wrong. I need y'all to beat these Blue Devils because I do not need to hear them talking anymore, especially the situation that's going on in North Carolina right now. So those are my picks.
For sure. I'm with you with Texas versus Purdue. I got Texas with the upset over Purdue. It's just like you said, always something with Purdue, man. When they get to like Sweet 16, Elite 8, they just never get over that hump. They always have good regular seasons, but then when it gets tournament time, they always just they hit their head against the wall against, a certain team that they supposed to be favored over. So then I got Nebraska over Iowa. I know some people may think, Iowa, they beat Florida, but, some people might think that was kind of flukish, but I got Nebraska. I just think Nebraska's the better team. The Arizona-Arkansas game could be interesting, but I got Arizona. I just think they're the head and shoulder better team, a more complete team. I think Arkansas, the young man that you said that could be a top 3 pick. Cuff. He's going to have like 35, 40 points.
He's capable of doing that. So that's what I'm saying. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
He would have to have that type of night for them to win that game. And that would be a big upset, too.
It would.
Houston, I got Houston over Illinois. I just think Houston, they just got too many good players on that squad. I like Illinois too, but I think Houston's got way too many good players. Then you got Iowa State versus Tennessee. I agree with you. I'm going with Iowa State. I'm gonna actually go UConn over Michigan State. I like Tom Izzo. I think Tom Izzo is still one of the greatest coaches in history, but he hasn't really got over that hump since he won that last national. It was like back in 2008 when they won the last national championship with Mateen Cleaves and them. Like, they're always a good team, but they just never can get over that hump. So I'm gonna roll with UConn. I'm also gonna roll with Michigan over Alabama. I just think Michigan is they got too much talent over there, man, and them boys they just rise to the occasion when they need to. So, and then like you said, man, St. John's versus Duke. I'm with you. I've never been a Duke fan. I can't stand Duke. I can never stand none of their players. Even when they came out, I couldn't stand them. Rolling with St. John's. I think St. John's is going to win. And I just think they got momentum, man, coming off that win over Kansas. Even though Kansas almost came back and won that game, I just think they're rolling with the momentum right now. Duke, Cam Boozer, he could take over this game, and we could be looking up like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? But I think St. John's is going to take the dub, man. So, yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, man. It should be a good tournament, man. Sweet 16 up until, the Final Four, man, to the finals. So.
Yeah, on both brackets. I think this is when the tournament really starts to get going.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Let's do a little NFL news, man. We just got an announcement today. Let me pull this. Just put it from here. Where'd it go? So, they just announced today that the season will be kicking off on a Wednesday. Where Seattle will be kicking off the season. They are the Super Bowl champions, and you always know that the Super Bowl champions are always going to kick the season off. There were rumblings about this because they announced that San Francisco LA Rams game in Melbourne, Australia. So they decided to make a Wednesday night game for the Seahawks home opener or season opener. And then the next day will be their San Francisco 49ers and the Rams on Thursday night football. And then I'm pretty for sure there will be a Friday game too, because they've been doing that. So how do you feel about this, sir? Do you think this is too much? Or do you think this is right on par with the NFL?
With it being Wednesday, I'm not surprised, man, because I know we're going to get into a topic that kind of talks about the future of the NFL. But look, I'm happy they kind of did this in a sense, because I think it would have been very disrespectful for Seattle not to be the first game of the season. They've earned that right. They won the Super Bowl in dominating fashion. I think the last month and a half run that they had was really, really impressive. So I think it's the right decision for them. I'll be curious to see who their opponent would be. I don't think they announced that yet. Let me see.
They haven't announced their opponent. They just said it was them.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who they have scheduled.
Well, they play us this year, AFC West.
I don't think it will be y'all. I think the Cowboys could be a very strong. I think it's either going to be the Cowboys or the Bears. That's what I think, as far as like that home opening game. Looking at the opponents that they probably could have, because it's I don't see the Chiefs, because unless the only way I'll see the Chiefs is if Patrick Mahomes will for sure be ready by week 1. But I don't think they're going to risk that. I think you won't really know until you probably get into the preseason. So they got to make the decision pretty soon. So I'm thinking it's going to probably be between either the Bears or the Cowboys. That's what I think. But I agree with the decision.
Yeah, I'm fine with it as long as they didn't disrespect, like you said, Seattle and bump them, or do some stupid stuff, make them play Friday and at the home opener in Australia. Like, you could have flip-flopped. Honestly, they could have flip-flopped, because they've been doing the international game on Friday. So I don't know why they couldn't just have the Thursday night game on Thursday, and then
don't they already have a game scheduled for Friday though?
I don't know. They didn't announce nobody.
I'm pretty sure they probably have a Friday game, dog.
I'm sure they are.
I'm sure they will. I don't know. Maybe it's the logistics with the it being in Australia. Maybe that's the only day they had open for that stadium that they're going to be playing in. I don't know. Maybe it's a logistics thing with that.
Yeah, for sure. There was a vote today at the NFL owners meeting. It is expecting that Las Vegas will be the site for 2029. They're bringing the Super Bowl back out here. We all kind of suspected that they was going to be back here soon, but how are you feeling about that, sir?
Honestly, it just solidifies that Vegas is one of the more premier spots to have a Super Bowl. I think we're going to be in that rotation of LA, Arizona, Miami, New Orleans. I think we're going to be in that kind of rotation where I could see us having a Super Bowl like every 3-4 years. I think Vegas is the perfect spot to have the Super Bowl. We remember when we had it a couple years ago, and what kind of spectacle that was. I'm sure you have a lot of fond memories of that, because that was one of the Super Bowls that your Kansas City Chiefs won. So, but we were here, we were here in the atmosphere. It was nothing like anything we've been before, probably since NBA All-Star Weekend. And just the but it was more properly ran, because it was more understandable on how to run the thing. I think with the NBA All-Star Game, it was the first time huge event that Vegas has ever tried to hold, and I just don't think we were prepared stylistically, control wise. But we were more than well prepared for this. So I'm not surprised. Again, this is going to be another rotation of it. I'm super excited for Vegas. I think the span of 2027, 2028, 2029, it might be some of the best years of Vegas, it's really going to be very historical with everything that's going to happen within those 3. Hell, within even this year, because we even got the national championship college football game coming out this year, and then obviously we got WrestleMania, and then obviously we get the NBA team, MLB team, then we'll have the Super Bowl, and then the Final Four and all that stuff like that. Man, it's just a heavy rotation of everything that's going on in Vegas, and this is just another thing that just shows the pinnacle of what Vegas is. It's become this mega sports town that a lot of us probably never foresaw coming, especially some of us who grew up here. Like, I can't sit here and say 15, 20 years ago that I expected us to have an NHL team that won a Stanley Cup. My Raiders, out of all teams, my Raiders coming here. But any NFL team being in presence in Las Vegas, us officially getting an MLB team, and now us pretty much officially, it's not official, but it's pretty much official that we're going to get an NBA team, and then the college football championship, Final Four, WrestleManias. Who would have thought we would have had stuff like this when we grew up in Vegas? You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. It makes me very excited to see the future of Las Vegas. And it's not surprising, but I can't wait for 2029. It's going to be a spectacle. And you know what? You never know. Maybe my Raiders and Fernando Mendoza might be in that game. We could kind of reclaim what the Chiefs kind of took away from us and winning a Super Bowl.
You saw my boy today. You saw him.
Saw him what? Limping around, throwing the goddamn football. Nobody care about that. His leg done aged about 10 years. Nobody worried about Mahomes no more, dog. Them days is over, baby.
He's scared. He's scared. They're talking to his coping right.
Scared of what? Scared of what?
He's scared.
We weren't scared of y'all when y'all were dominating, because we would always beat y'all in random ass games. And I don't want to hear shit talking about, we just overlooked. Nah, fuck that. Nah, bump that, man. It's a rivalry, bro. You don't overlook us. Y'all do ring around the rosy plays because y'all want to talk y'all shit. But all of a sudden we beat y'all, it's not important. Yeah, right. Get out of here, man. But salute to y'all with my one. Salute.
But yeah, next Super Bowl is in Los Angeles, 2028 is in Atlanta, and then they say likely Vegas. But
what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts with the Super Bowl being back in Vegas?
Oh, I mean, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was successful. You know what I'm saying, when they came out here for that game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if my Chiefs didn't win, I thought it was successful. You know what I'm saying? It was just a great look. We was at work when we saw it. You know what I'm saying? We saw the atmosphere was good, and then when I went to opening night, that was a dope atmosphere, man. Even though we was getting booed like mud, it was still a great atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it again, regardless of what teams is in the Super Bowl next year. I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was dope, man.
I'm sure, and I'm also sure that NFL players don't mind. I'm sure NFL owners don't mind. I'm sure a lot of people in the NFL don't mind that it's in Las Vegas, because look, we have a lot of casinos, high-end casinos. We have a lot of restaurants. We have a lot of activities. We have a lot of stuff that a lot of these people love to do. We have the females out here. We have it all. So I'm excited. Hopefully my Raiders can be a part of it. If not, I'm sure it'll still be a great event. I'm curious to see if they kind of announce the draft to go pair with it too. I don't know if they announced the draft around that year yet. I don't know if they announced that, but I wonder if they would pair the draft and the Super Bowl together in Las Vegas.
I don't think they'll do both in the same year. I think they try to do that thing with the draft, like teams that are not going to get the Super Bowl, like Pittsburgh. In the Green Bay, like, I think they be like, we'll get y'all the draft. We ain't gonna get y'all those.
I feel you, but they still want to make money on this shit. So why wouldn't you have? I'm sure Vegas was a big profitable draft.
I went in both days, and it was fun as fuck.
Even if it's not the same year as the Super Bowl, I could honestly see it being the following year where we get the draft. I could see that. You know what I'm saying? But look,
I do think they'll definitely bring it back out here. I'm just saying, I just think that like NFL is kind of like, we got our spots for the Super Bowl. LA, Atlanta, Vegas, Arizona, like spots, Miami, spots like that, maybe Tampa Bay. But I think they'd be like, all right, we'll give Indianapolis the draft.
I'm not mad. I think look, if you could do a goddamn draft in Green Bay, I think you could do a draft anywhere, honestly. Because I don't even know. I still don't know how they pulled that one off. Mm-hmm. But look, I think every city, NFL city, deserves to have the draft, because we all know the logistics of the Super Bowl. Not every team is gonna get the Super Bowl. Like, I know Chicago's a beautiful city, but if they don't get a dome, they're never getting a Super Bowl. The Bills, that stadium looks really nice. You're never getting the Super Bowl. Like, it's just the reality of it. There's only 5 solid cities who are going to get Super Bowls that you know of. And it's going to be LA, it's going to be Miami, it's going to be Arizona, it's going to be Vegas, and it probably is going to be Houston. Those are the only cities that you can guarantee will get a Super Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? And Dallas. I think you could throw in Dallas in there.
Oh, yeah, Dallas.
Because Jerry Jones is going to get a Super Bowl. We all know that.
Yeah,
I think he overdue. So, but
did we talk about these rules?
No. We have not. I know they're not doing the tuck rule or some shit. But.
Yeah, they're not. They saw it didn't work last year, so they just like
yeah, pretty much. But if it start working again this year, right back up,
right on the docket. But they did put these submit some of these rules. They want number 1 rule was permit the kicking team to declare an onside kick at any time during the game. So I guess do the onside kick, because usually now the rule is you could do it in the 4th quarter, I think. So now you could just do it first, second, third.
But you got to acknowledge that you're doing it in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I never understood why you only had to do it in the 4th quarter, because it was kind of like a strategic thing. Like, we all saw what momentum that game had when it was the Bears and Colts, when the Colts kind of did the onside kick, and we saw the kind of momentum shift to them. And I think that was kind of the key play that helped them win the Super Bowl. So look, I think you shouldn't limit teams from stupidity if they want to do stuff, like if they want to do an onside kick in the 1st quarter or something and try to gain an extra possession. Let them do it. It could be a smart play. It could be a dumb play. We all know that majority of the times onside kicks are really not successful. I would honestly like to see a rule change where they could potentially make the onside kicks a little bit more successful, because I think that could bring a little bit more excitement into the game. You know what I mean? I think they should find a rule with that. I don't know what kind of rules you could do to kind of make it a little bit more successful. Maybe instead of it having to go 10 yards, maybe it can go like 7 or something. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Obviously, you don't want to do 5 because that'll be just an automatic given that everybody go get it. But kind of meet somewhere in the middle between 5 and 10 yards or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. But as far as this, I'm not mad at it. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the element of surprise takes away. Like, you gotta announce it. Like, now I can set up my shit, like, get the hands team out there.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get all my good receivers that can catch, and all my guys who got good hands, and we ain't worried about it. But back in the day, you didn't have to announce it. You just do it, and then next thing you know, you catch them off guard. It's like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just takes the element. That's why the percentages are down now. It's just
what would you think of? Because I remember seeing this before. Of instead of an onside kick, let's say you have a 4th and 25. You know what I mean, on your side of the field, and if you get that 4th and 25, or like a 4th and 20, like a 4th and 20 scenario, you get to keep the ball. You know what I mean? What would you think of a situation like that instead of doing the onside kick? I think that would make it a little bit more exciting, because at least it's like in play. You know what I mean? There could be a chance with onside kicks. It's 90% of the time they ain't catching the ball.
I guess with us saying that instead of them announcing the onside kick, you could do the 4th and 25, because now it's just like, they're gonna play prevent defense anyway. But if we get it, that just brings excitement to the game, and it brings more trick plays out, and things of that nature. You got to really strategize what you're gonna do with that 4th and 20, because it could definitely change the game. So
I think that's a great rule, because 4th and 20 is still tough enough to the point where the defense should be able to win that matchup as far as like being on 4th and 20. But we've seen on several occasions that it has happened. I've seen fluke stuff happen before, and I think it will give the offensive, and I think it will give the fans a little bit like it could work. We saw your boy Mahomes do like kind of like a 4th and 20, and get a first down. We've seen it with Josh Allen. We've seen it with Matthew Stafford and all that type of stuff. Like, put it on 30. If you don't get it, then it's pretty much the same as like an onside kick. I think that's the rule that I'm surprised has not gotten said that they should do, because I think at the end of the day, the NFL is always looking to try to make their product a little bit more exciting. Onside kick ain't it. Like, onside kick don't work. It never does work. It's not really exciting to watch, because half of us are literally drinking our beers being like, all right, this game is over, because they ain't going to catch it. There's no anticipation. But if it's like a 4th and 20 situation, and you're only down by 2 or 3, like I think there'll be a little bit more of like, damn, can they get it? Will there be a pass interference? You know what I mean? There's just so many different more variables for it to be successful than an onside kick.
Yeah, I agree. Second rule is they want to eliminate the kicking team's incentive to intentionally kick the ball out of bounds when kicking off from the 50-yard line.
Say that again. I'm trying to understand.
It says eliminate the kicking team's incentive to intentionally kick the ball out of bounds when kicking off from the 50-yard line.
So what was the incentive though? Like, what did they get the ball at, like the 35 or 40 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, so instead of I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of it now. I don't know how much of incentive you do get off of that shit, but I don't know.
I think that's what it is. Like if you kick it out of bounds, you automatically got a 35 or whatever.
So what would it change to? I
guess you get it at the 20. I don't know. Like I don't know.
That's gonna be interesting.
And then they got to modify the kickoff alignment requirements for the receiving team in the setup zone.
Okay.
So I guess they want to change the alignment of that, make more kickoffs, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
And then this one's interesting because they want to allow league personnel to consult with on-field officials when considering disqualifications for both flagrant foul acts and non-football acts without being called on the field.
So you want teams to be able to make their case in a sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I don't really think the NFL has too much of a problem. I think when cats get thrown out, like you know, like, all right, bro, like you deserve to get thrown out. I think this is something that needs to be done in college football because it's more severe on the college end because they only get one opportunity. You don't get like 2 personal fouls and then you get escorted out. I think it's more detrimental to the college field because we've seen too many top players who have done head-to-head helmet hits that I think was clearly accidental. We all know the movement. I don't think they were clearly going at the head, but then they get thrown out the game. Plus, they got to miss another half of another game. I think college rules are stupid. I really do. I think college football, and I know this has nothing to do with the NFL, but in my senses, I think college football, the way it's being set up as kind of like this farm league system for the NFL, because it's damn near pro with all this NIL stuff. And then we're already heading to a situation where we're going to be forming one big super league with the SEC and the Big 10 and the Big 12 and parts of Pac-12 and all this other stuff. Like, why don't you just conform your rules the same way as the NFL? Like, I don't get it. 2 feet down, same personal fouls, all that stuff like that. Just make it easier. You know what I mean? Like, for everybody. Like, there's no reason why we have 2 sets of different rules for the same game that's played in the same manner. I don't understand it.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one is for 1 year only. This has to do with the referee stoppage, possibly. 1 year only, allow the NFL officiating department to correct clear and obvious misses by the on-field officials that impact the game in the event of a work stoppage involving the game officials represented by the NFL Referee Association. Now, they had a work stoppage before, and they had some, backup referees, and it was terrible. It was so bad that they had to cave in and just even hire the real referees, even though they're no better, but still. So how you feel about this?
This to me just solidifies that referees are not going to be there when the season. That's all that, because I just think they're writings on the wall. I just think they're too far apart. I think the NFL is kind of annoyed with the referees, and I think the Players Association is kind of annoyed with the referees as well. That I just think that they're really kind of just telling us, like, just be prepared for replacement refs. But we're going to make sure on every possible end that we're there to help them not make the mistakes that we saw in that Monday night game with the failed marriage. You know what I mean? Situations like that, bad penalties and all that. So I think that it just means they're going to be more hands-on. The NFL is going to be more hands-on in these reviews. Like, they're going to call and be like, nope, you made a mistake. Change that up. Now, could that slow the game down a little bit more? It's a very strong possibility that these games could slow down a little bit more. But to me, they're just literally telling us without telling us that just be mentally prepared that we're not going to have the official refs starting in the beginning of this year.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you, Mark, on this one. The only rule I wish they would change is to make DPS 15 yards and get rid of the spot foul. I'm kind of with you on that one.
Y'all don't like the spot foul? Why don't y'all like the spot foul?
Because I just think I don't know. Because because it's not, because some DPIs are 15 yards and then some DPIs are on the spot.
Oh, like from like defensive pass interference to like illegal contact or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. I think with the pass interference calls, it's like, look, if you threw the ball 40 yards and your man interferes you and you knew you could have caught it for 40 yards, I think you should get the spot place. I personally agree with that, because like if you would have interfered and he would have caught the ball, he would have got the 40 yards anyway. So why wouldn't you just do the spot foul? Now with the illegal touching with the 15 yards, or the, what is it, 5 yards and the automatic first down or something like that. I guess I can understand that more, because most of the contact really happens probably within that first 5 to 10 yards range. So I'm not really, that, I don't know. That wouldn't be like my first thought of, I don't think that would be one of my first rules I would trip about.
One of the things I don't like about the NFL, it'd be like an instance where it'd be like, all right, it's the team. So let's say our offensive line goes offsides, but then the defensive player gets a DPI. Well, I think the first foul should count first.
Oh, like in the process, like whoever threw that foul first, because initially I get what you're saying. Like if that foul happens, then initially the play should be technically dead. So why would that?
So why does the DPI count?
Yeah, like I hate. Like you hate the offsetting penalties. You hate the offsetting penalties. Yeah, you hate the offsetting penalties. I'm with you on that shit. Like that shit's annoying. Like if my man, so like if my man were to get hands to the face, but then the defensive player ends up getting like a hold or something like that, then the hands to the face should be.
It should be the first play.
I mean? Yeah.
Or if like you get if the DPI is called first, but my offensive line is offsides or he's holding, it's like the DPI was first. It's like
like I totally get it. I think and that's easily reviewable, because you can clearly see what foul happened first, and then I think even with the refs you can clearly tell like what would happen first. Now I agree with you. The offsetting penalty thing is kind of annoying and stuff like that, or just do it in the sense of like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be kind of weird. Like whatever penalty has the most yardage to it, then just assess that. You know what I mean? Or you can, I don't know. You can even do like a subtraction kind of process. Like one is 15 yards, and the other one's 5. Then all right, we'll just do 10-yard penalty and call it a day. You know what I mean? Like at least you'll still have some benefit to that. Maybe it might be too much for referees because they got so much going on, they can't add and subtract math. But I think something like that would be fine. But I totally agree with you. The offset penalties is kind of annoying.
It's like, come on, man.
Are there any other rule changes you thought about that should happen?
I think they do need to enforce quarterbacks when they slide.
What you mean by that?
Because I think that, and I'll even loop Patrick Mahomes in this, but I think a lot of them incorporate this where they use that sideline to their benefit.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're going out of bounds, but then they'll like
they'll like run into you. Patrick Mahomes is the king at that shit, but that should be annoying. And then he flopping too. Do you think there should be a flopping rule in NFL?
I think a lot of I think he does it. I think fucking Josh Allen to me is the king of flops. To me, he really flops.
Your boy, him and your boy are the top two at that shit. I would say. So, your boy does it a lot, and then he'll go and shoulder rim a cat, surprisingly, and then I'm like, bro, come on, man, come on, dog.
But I think that should be a penalty on the quarterback.
The all exclusive challenge where they could challenge any penalty of the play. Oh, so what you get like one? What league did that? So what you get like one? You get like one all exclusive challenge. Like you could challenge anything on the play. Is that what that means?
I guess that's what he's trying to say.
Is that what that means, Mark? Like you can challenge anything that happened on that play. I've never heard of that. That's an interesting one.
He said, yeah.
That's an interesting one. I wouldn't mind that. You get like one of those again. I wouldn't mind that.
So if it's a pass interference, or you know what I'm saying, like if it's a clear pass interference,
like something that normally can't get reviewed, you can use one time. Now, honestly, that would be something, you know, because a lot of those you would think a lot of teams would use that at the end of the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's when most of the ignorant stuff does happen. No play calls, stuff like that. Yeah, you know. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
For sure. All right, man. Let's switch it up, man. Hove did an interview the other day on GQ. Hove never speaks, man. Like, so when Hove speaks, everybody's like, all right, what's Jay-Z got to say? He had a few things to say, man. He talked about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, and this is some of his views on that situation.
We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. Mm-hmm. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing, and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like, it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the thing. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing, and you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song, I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I hate that I have this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it.
What's your thoughts on what Hove had to say about the whole situation with Kendrick and Drake and battle and the culture?
I hear what he's saying, but I think it's a lot of contradiction into what he was saying to me personally, because I get tired of hearing that the internet is the cause of, like, don't get me wrong, the internet is full of bullshit. The internet is cliquey. The internet has a lot of stands that just we see it with Drake. We see it on Kendrick's side. We see it with Nicki Minaj fans. We see it with Kanye fans, Taylor Swift fans. We see it all. Like, we see, like, it's just like fucking cults. Like, you know what I mean? That they just talk nonsensical stuff that they can't be open-minded to both sides of the party. But at the same time, it was the same way back in the day. Like, what was the difference between Pac and Biggie? Like, it was the East Coast versus West Coast. And, he brings up the whole lot of, like, trying to ruin marriages and careers, but we had two cats that lost their lives. Pac literally said he fucked Faith. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know much more you could get to. And then obviously we know the history between Jay-Z and Nas, and Jay-Z and some other cats, you know what I mean? We saw it with Pusha T and Drake, you know what I mean? Like, we saw it with so many different artists. We saw it with 50 Cent and Ja, he and 50 Cent. We all know what 50 is capable of doing and how much he kind of ruined the perception of Ja. You know what I mean? So this whole thing where I think it's we're getting too overly sensitive with the whole situation and what happened between Kendrick and Drake, that I know the internet kind of heightens it to the point where it feels like it's suffocating. It feels like it's just overbearing. Like it feels like it's going too far. But everything that those two gentlemen did is no different from what we saw in the 90s, what we saw in the 80s, what we saw in the early 2000s. It's just that we have the internet that keeps reminding us bullshit and bots that keep reminding us bullshit every time. That's the only difference. Like, we didn't have, we open up our phones and we get reminded by dumb shit, or we have stupid people making stupid, idiotic claims every single time. Most of the time we got our news was either through the music, through magazines, through blogs, people who can actually control the narratives. Now, with the internet, you can't control narratives. You have people that will say anything, conspiracy theorists, just outright dumb facts, totally lie. We have AI now who fakes like they're particular people, and now you got to kind of adjust your eyes and your intelligence, because now you got to kind of piece through, is this a real person, is this not a real person? Like, most of the time when you read through comments now, you got on Twitter, 90% of people are asking Grok if this is true, and then now you got Grok lying about bullshit now, so now you can't even trust Grok. So I get it in that sense, but Jay, come on, bro. Like, hip hop will always need that in a sense, because we need that kind of healthy battling between two lyricists that can actually show what they're capable of doing. And yes, some of those times, and a lot of those times, it's going to get ugly, but I think people have to have that perception to just move forward and let bygones be bygones. Now, those two particular parties may never be friends. They potentially could be friends 10, 20 years down from the line. But at the end of the day, do we need battle rap? Yes, it's part of the culture. It will always be part of the culture. And if you don't have that, then you're taking the essence and the soul of what hip hop was grew up to be and what we tend to love from it. I just think people need to have a sense of just humility and just to understand it's that it ain't really as different as it was in the 90s. It's just that we got internet and we got dumb shit that we see every day that you kind of got to sift through, and you can control that. You don't have to open up your phone, and I know it's kind of hard, and you can block shit, you can mute shit, that you have the capabilities of doing certain things, or you could just not be on it at all. Like, take a break. Like, you have those capabilities too. And I get it. It's hard, because it's hard not being on your phone. It's hard not seeing this every day, because 99% of us are on our phones. 99% of us need the internet to get our information, to share our businesses, to speak our minds. That's our escape and all that. And I get it, but you got to have a healthy balance with that, because you can't get consumed by it. And that's just kind of my whole thought process on that.
No, I agree with you. I think Hov sounds crazy. Yeah. I think that, you know what I'm saying, any kind of sounds contradictory.
And I think he kind of hinted at that when he was kind of like, I know what it sounds like when he said it at the end, but I don't know. That's just,
I mean, this is the same guy who he told Nas that, he left condoms on the baby seat. Like,
yeah, come on, dog. Come on.
He said the one thing me and AI, he dry snitched on AI and said one thing me and AI got in common, Carmen, of course, that was not his baby mama. So he put it all out there, and then all the shit that he said on Takeover, just like, I don't know. I don't agree with that. Look, I know the Drake and Kendrick thing, and look, we knew that it was gonna get messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the whole thing that people don't that I ain't trying to get on the tangent with the Kendrick and Drake thing. At the end of the day, Kendrick warned this nigga. He told him, he gave him a forewarning. Look, bruh, we can keep this surface level. We can keep it real raps, bars, just lyrics, just us trading bars. I can do that all day. We can do that, man. Like, we can keep it friendly. Just don't talk about my people. Leave the families out of this. I won't talk about your son. I won't talk about your mama, your daddy. I won't talk about none of that shit. We can keep it bars and just see who's the best lyricist. And look, we could have been talking about something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But Drake couldn't help himself. And he brought in Kendrick's wife, and he might have the baby might not be his type shit and like that. And I just think Kendrick is like, all right, I tried, y'all. I tried to tell him.
He even brought the pedo shit to him on himself too. He told him to say all that shit. Like, say I do the pedo and all that type of shit. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, all right.
And he was like, okay.
All right.
You sure? Okay. And he kept
Yeah.
he warned them on Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria was like a warning. It was like I'm gonna talk about you, but I'm talking about you on this song. Dog, just keep it surface level. And he couldn't do it. And people just don't know. There's just certain dudes you just don't mess with, man. But like you said, this has been going on since the beginning of time. Tupac. From the rip. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Like, from the jump. No Vaseline.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, when they went there. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you something. Like, this is just a hypothetical. You know what I mean? I could be totally off based on this, but do you think Jay said this stuff knowing that he probably doesn't really believe that, but in a sense that this is still in trial and he wants to kind of portray that, you know, maybe like, you know, he tries to stay away because, you know, he even kind of said in the interview that he's like, why would I personally have a certain stake in the beef? I'm Jay-Z. Like, I'm Jay-Z. Yeah. I'm bigger than this shit. You know what I mean?
Let me go ahead and play that clip.
Okay.
Did a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's and he's not.
Like I don't have what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in it. Like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck? Like what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or do respect to him. I'm fucking Hov. Do respectfully.
Word.
Like for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened, the Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth-Fleek, what is the Myth-Fleek slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hat. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
But also to your point, like I remember I was like 10 or 11 when that happened. I was like,
pick a side.
Well, I was on your side.
Yeah, I could clearly.
But my position was I can't go out and buy Stillmatic or ask my parents to buy Stillmatic. Yeah. But I'm gonna borrow it and burn it because I can't deny one mic, you know?
Like I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I ain't supporting them.
Word.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what he said about the whole Super Bowl thing and not being aligned up with, like, he's not picking a side. He just, like he said, and he's right. Kendrick was on fire after that battle. You know what I'm saying? And then GNX had came out, and that album was like the album of that time. You know what I'm saying? So you know, he's pretty much, and I agree with him on that. Like, dog, I'm Jay-Z. I don't need to align myself with somebody, dog. Like, I'm that dude. I'm still what it was.
Yeah, like he don't. Like, I agree with him in that sense, but I'm not going to sit here. Like, we can't sit here and act like he didn't hear any of those bars Drake threw at him consistently. Mm-hmm. All them come on, man. Jay know. And we all know we all know how Rock Nation rocks and how they like to also control the narratives. You know what I mean? Like we can't be oblivious to that too. So am I going to sit here and say like Jay-Z didn't have anything to do with kind of like helping out the whole situation with Kendrick and Drake and all that stuff like that? I don't know, but I'm not gonna act like it couldn't be possible. But I think
Jay has thrown shots back at Drake too. I mean, who got the keys?
Yeah,
who got the keys was initially he was talking to Drake on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, like nah, like you didn't like this motherfucker either. So yeah, you be like, all right, I don't have to do anything. I could get AKA the boogeyman to kind of just get my mess away from me and get this motherfucker the fuck out of here. And then he'll kill it. I'm not saying he helped Kendrick get any views. I'm not saying anything. I think Kendrick did what he did on his own authentically. All I'm saying is I think Jay-Z saw the path. I think Jay-Z knew the winner, kind of like some of us did with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. You kind of saw the styles make fights, and that the style that Kendrick Lamar is and the type of person that he is and the thought process that he has and how many steps ahead he is a lot of people compared to Drake, because he's stuck in this one mold. Not saying he's not capable of being able to go bar for bar, blow for blow, but just in this moment of time and the kind of the music that Drake has been producing, I don't think his mind and his verbiage was ready for a spar of that magnitude at that time. Now, if this was maybe 5 years ago, maybe things might have been a little bit different, because Drake was more in his bag, like he was one of the better rappers that no one could take away from me, even though a lot of the shit was that, this person wrote for him, this person wrote for him, whatever the case may be. Even if that's the case, he still had a lot of motherfuckers that could have helped him write his shit a whole lot better than what the fuck he did. Now, there are songs that Drake had that were killing, but the missteps, the misunderstanding of your opponent, you taking your opponent lightly, certain situations like that, I think the parties and that you had around yourself, they didn't put you in, take you in and be like, dog, no, you need to make sure you cover all your bases, all your steps. What if let's say my man does drop some shit right after that? What do you got? You can't drop the shit that you dropped after Meet the Grams and after Not Like Us. All that shit you dropped after that, everybody forgot about them shits. Everybody forgot about them shits. No one cares. The Heart Part 6 and all that shit, they forgot about all that. Like, no one cared about it after Not Like Us and the Meet the Grams. But I think he's correct. I think he genuinely put Kendrick in that moment because he was the biggest superstar at that moment, coming off one of the biggest battle raps that we've seen in hip hop history, hell, in music history. Like, Kendrick was up there surpassing Taylor Swift's and Bad Bunny's. Like, he was having number one albums and selling out tours, selling out international stadium tours, like football stadium tours. Like, he did the whole Mexico shit by himself. And I know a lot of people like to bring SZA into it, but I think Kendrick could have did it on his own, low key. He was just that big going on. He was the biggest shit going on. So I agree with him on that end, but I don't agree with him in the sense that he didn't have anything to go at bat with Drake. Like, yeah, you are Jay-Z, you are fucking Jay-Z, you are one of one, but we know who you are, and we know you're not oblivious to what this motherfucker said about you. And we know that you will always keep that in the back of your head. Look, I guarantee you, if this nigga drops an album, which I don't know how you feel, but I anticipate he's going to drop some, because he got this New York shit that is coming out. I feel like he has something dropping. I'm not saying it's going to be this year, but I think he's working on some shit. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he has something that he says about Drake on his album. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, funny you say that. He did talk about it on this clip too.
I mean, just to be like, a small cog in that wheel, I'm getting out that creativity. But again, I was just so like heavy, and I don't know how to make music that's not reflective of how I'm feeling at the moment. It would have been fiery, but I don't know. I don't know if it's done more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because, I have a lot of like scratch ideas and they like all bad. I gotta be honest. They're bad. It's just like all bad.
The streets really want.
So.
And we want all that bad shit. We wanted Jay. Come on, man. We want to hear Angry Jay. Like, it's cool. Like 40. Like, what was it? What was it? Not 44. What was the last album he put out?
Wasn't it 444?
Yeah, 4. Yeah, that one. I don't know why I said 440, but yeah, that one. Like, yeah, it was cool, and I think he kind of even spoke on that. Like, that was kind of like one of his hardest albums to kind of like.
It was his most vulnerable album.
Yeah. But nah, I want to hear some hardcore Jay-Z shit. I want to hear some like.
But he even spoke on that too. He was like, he can't see himself reverting back to that whole, because he's not that guy anymore.
Nah, I'm not saying he has to go back to like he was the drug dealing Jay-Z off of Reasonable Doubt and all those other albums, but we know, like, he even said it himself. He played defensive all last year. It's all offensive going forward. So that means he's coming at people's necks, but I think he could do it in a way where still the Jay-Z of today, but I'm gonna show you this version of Jay and how I get at people's necks, how I come at motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he still has a business to run. He still has a perception. He still has relationships that, you know, I think even if he were to do some like reasonable doubt, grimier type of shit, I think he'll be fine because everybody knows who Jay-Z is now of today. But I think he still has the capability of doing it, and he could do it in his own way that makes him still feel like it's not going out of bounds of who he is as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a businessman, of all the intelligence that he's gained throughout the years and decades of him being in his businesses and other ventures and relationships and stuff like that, where you can't come at people's necks in a way where it could be like, damn, only Jay can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some hardcore shit coming from a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like some shit like that. And all of us will be like, Jay's still Jay. Jay's still one of the greatest. And like, you gotta watch out. Like, you can't just go saying shit out your neck because you think this man's retired. Nah, this nigga can still fucking flow the fuck out of any rhyme, could go bar for with any motherfucker because he's just that intelligent. And he gonna say some shit that you don't know nothing of. I've heard many stories of rappers who've been in the presence of Jay-Z, just in the presence of his home, be like, I'm talking about millionaires. Be like, I ain't never been in no shit like this before. Like, there's just certain things that Jay has experienced that not too many people can say. I don't even think Drake can say. So, and I know Drake is very successful, but he ain't on Jay-Z's level. Let's call it straight. He ain't on Jay's level.
He's a billionaire. So
yeah, you ain't got no female like Beyonce. You ain't got nothing like that. You ain't got the relationships I got. You ain't got the money. You ain't got the house I got. You ain't got none of that shit. You ain't got none of that. You still playing a little boy's game. You out here gambling. You out here worrying about bitches. You worrying about dumb shit. I'm over here making millions of dollars with my wife, having my beautiful daughter, and I'm going about mine. I got businesses. I'm raking up, and I ain't doing the dumb shit you're doing. And even if I am, at least I'm covering up a lot better than you are. So you still out here acting like you're 20 years old, even though Drake about to be damn near 40, if he's not 40 already. I'm Jay-Z. I'm Jigga. I'm on another stratosphere than you, Drake. Yeah, you are high, but you're not me. So I'm going to talk shit to you like you're not me. And I want that. I think everybody should want that. And who knows? It might spark up another thing where Drake be like, all right, fuck it. I didn't get Kendrick. This could be my moment to shine. I got Jay-Z. I failed that Kendrick.
Drake, don't do that.
Let me go at Jay-Z. And if I win Jay-Z, I get all my credibility back. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? What do you say to that?
Don't do it, Drake. Leave that alone, man. Leave Jay-Z alone.
I'll be all, look, I ain't gonna lie. I would be all for that shit. You give me a Jay-Z Drake summer, like a Kendrick Drake summer, bro. That should be popping. I want that. Give me that shit, dog.
Honestly, I don't think Jay would have the energy. I think he'd be like, man.
I don't know. I just think Jay right now is like, especially with those words, I'm all offensive. I think that means he has time. That's what I mean. I think everything on the business side is down. Wifey did her tour, she cool. Baby girl, young daughter, she cool. My businesses, lots. I have nothing else. Like, I'm sure he has other things going on, but I also got time. So I'm all offensive. So, brother, if you got time, I got time. Now, do I think he'll take it to the likes of what Kendrick and Drake did? I don't know. Like, but I think it'll be interesting. I'll be all for it. I hope Jay-Z's working on some shit. Hopefully we get an album this year. I would love to hear Jay-Z's thoughts and how he's in today's age, in today's world, with everything going on from, you know, politics to war to stuff happening in communities to Drake to a whole bunch of shit that I think people would want to hear Jay about. You know what I mean? I think he's one of those type of people. It ain't like one of those, like, you know, where Dave Chappelle, you know, said some shit about like, who wants to hear from Ja Rule at a time like this during 9/11? True. I think Jay-Z's a little bit different. I think people how out of sight, out of mind he is to a degree. I think people would want to hear about him and everything that's going on in today's world, especially his mindset.
Well, I mean, look, man, there's still guys who we grew up on who are still out here spitting at an elite level. We see Nas, he been dropping dope music.
Yeah, he been killing.
Still out here making elite music. Redman, Method Man, they still out here rapping at an elite level.
Pusha Clips, all them.
Yeah. Like the guys we grew up, they still out here spitting, man. So
Game killing it still.
Yeah, even LL Cool J, he dropped the album. He got some stuff on there where he's spitting. You know what I'm saying? Eminem's still out here doing his thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's guys out here still doing their thing. So,
yeah.
All right, man. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Its power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
All right, man. Let's talk a little MLB. So the season kicked off tonight. We had the Yankees and the Padres, and we're supposed to do our divisions, MVP, and World Series picks.
Yep.
So let's go here. So we'll start with the American League first. So American League East, you got the Yankees, the Rays, the Blue Jays, you got Boston Red Sox, and you got the Baltimore Orioles. Who do you think is going to win that?
I'm gonna take the Blue Jays, man. I think the Blue Jays. I know they lost Bo Bichette, I think, but I think they're still a really deep team. I still think they got a lot of squad, a good squad, some good pitching. I'm gonna go with Blue Jays carrying off what they did at the end of last year.
And you got the American League Central, you got Minnesota, you got my Royals, you got the Tigers, you got Cleveland, and you got the White Sox. Who you like?
I'm gonna go with the Guardians, man. It's always something about this team that always kind of like they always play pretty well. They always got some decent pitching, great defense. Not saying they have the most elite offense, but they can score and put runs on the board. And I feel like they're always in it at the end of the year. So I'm gonna go with the Guardians, man.
For sure. And I'm with you on the East. I got Toronto Blue Jays too. Central, I got to roll with the home team. I think we growing with momentum this year.
I've seen certain experts pick the Royals this year. I have seen them pick the Royals this year.
Yeah, I think Bobby Wood Jr. is going to come out the gate running this year. Benny Pascatino, Salvi, Michael Garcia. I think he's elevating to be a star in this league. So I think he's going to do. I think Jack Caglione, he's going to start emerging too as one of the better sluggers in this game. And Carter Jensen is another young cat that's coming up too. So, and then I think our bullpen, if they can stay healthy, I think we'll have some of the best pitching in baseball. Period. So
yeah.
And then you have the AL West. You have Houston, Texans, Texas, Seattle, the Athletics, and the Angels.
I'm going with the Mariners, man. I just think offensively, I think they're going to be really good this year. Julio Rodriguez, Andres Munoz, Kyle Raleigh. I just think they're going to be good. I think they got some really solid pitching as well. I like the Mariners.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Mariners too. I agree with you, man. I think they had a really good season last year, and I think they'll build on it this year. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Mariners. All right, man, and then let's go to the National. We got the National League East, you got Miami, you got the Phillies, you got the Mets, you got the Nationals, and you got the Braves.
It has to be the Phillies, man. Like there can't be no more excuses for this Phillies team. Like people in Philadelphia have been waiting for this team. They've always had, probably, I think they had the best record, better than the Dodgers last year. And then they ended up losing to the Dodgers. So Phillies, they got to win this division, and they got to win big. There's no more excuses for this squad.
I'm gonna roll with the Braves this year, man. I think the Braves are gonna take it this year.
Man, then one of their top players get suspended all year.
Did they?
Yeah, for I think it's like one of the pitchers, one of their star pitchers got suspended for juicing or something.
Sorry, man. We'll be all right, man. He'll be all right.
Sure.
Then you got Central, you got the Cardinals, you got the Pittsburgh, you got the Reds, you got the Cubs, and you got the Brewers.
I'm going with the Cubs. They got Alex Bregman. They got Shota Imanaga. I think that was one of the newer guys that they signed from Japan. So I'm gonna go with the Cubbies, man. I think they go out and win this division.
I agree with you. I'm going with the Cubs too. And in the West, you got the Diamondbacks, you got the Rockies, you got the Padres.
Dodgers. What are we talking about? Come on, man. They got all their whole team might be the all-star lineup for the National League at this point, bro. That's insane.
All right, man. So who you got going to the World Series this year?
So I got the World Series. I got the Dodgers. Even though I did say that the Phillies do need to win, I think the Dodgers are just too good, too deep. And then I got the Mariners, man. I got the Mariners coming out of AL, Mariners and Dodgers. And then obviously I got the Dodgers winning the whole thing.
Going Dodgers and Royals, baby. Dodgers, Royals. I got the Dodgers beat.
Hey, hopefully that happens.
But I'll say this, though. I do say this. I do think our pitching, if they stay healthy, I think our pitching can get the Dodgers some issues. I do think that. I think you have to have good pitching when you face the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to beat the Dodgers. You need pitching. Yeah.
If I pitching, if Cole Reagans and Rocca and all them can stay healthy, relatively healthy this year, and they play out like how they've been, before they got injured last year, then I think we have a great chance to be, to keep up with the Dodgers in the World Series for sure. And if Bobby Witt Jr. can, get the bat going, and Vinny Pasquantino and all those boys, I think we have a chance.
Yeah. You still need Jesus on your side, but yeah, you got a chance.
Who you picking as far as MVP?
Shohei Ohtani, and then AL. I'll probably still go with. I'm gonna go with your boy. I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt Jr. I think he surprises. I think he takes the chip away from Aaron Judge. So I'm gonna go with your boy.
Yeah, I agree. I got both Bobby Witt and I got Shohei. Shohei is just amazing. He's that dude. But I think Bobby Witt Jr. puts it all together this year, man. And I think that he's going to have a great year with the home runs. But also, I think, with the outfield stuff, short, he's arguably the best shortstop in the league right now. So I think he's going to put that all together this year and just have a great year. So
I'll throw out Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners, too. I think he has the opportunity to get that, too. I think he got a good WBC.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's do our Bet US Surefire picks. What you got?
All college basketball. So for tomorrow, I got Houston -3. I got Nebraska -1.5. And I got Arkansas +8. Not saying they're going to beat Arizona, but I think Acuff will give them a good game, keep it close, keep it respectable. I can see him having a big game, but Arizona's still pulling it out. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I got Houston -3 over Illinois. I got Texas +8 over Purdue. I got UConn -1.5 over Michigan State. So, and then if you want to do a little NBA, I got the Knicks +1 over the Hornets.
No, we'll see. Knicks have been playing pretty good.
Yeah. So if you go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the Printify link. Go ahead and Printify the Bet US link. Click on it. It'll take you to the website. First time users only. Sign up. Put the promo code JOIN125. You get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gamblers insurance. That's 3 risk-free bets on $100 up to $5,000. That means on your first 3 deposits, if you bet $100 and you lose, you keep your money. So you can keep your money, or you can go over there and win you some money. Just go over there, sign up, tell them Cris Dallamall sent you. And that does it for our Bet US Surefire picks. Mark said Padres Mets game under 6.5. All right, man. It's a fight this weekend. Keith Thurman versus Stephen Fundora. Keith Thurman, he's kind of been inactive since he was inactive before the Pacquiao fight. Then he had a fight last year where he fought this dude from Australia. He won that fight. Stephen Fundora, he's been the champion at 154 for a minute now. He did lose, and then he got his belt back over Tim Tszyu. I've always looked at Stephen Fundora as kind of a mismatch because he's like 6'20", but he's like hella skinny. So he's always been a mismatch, but he has power. The dude does have power. And I've seen him hurt some people, but I also seen him get knocked down. I've seen him get knocked down a few times. Even when he beat Erickson Lubin, he beat Erickson Lubin bad, but Erickson Lubin almost got him out of there too. But he ended up getting up. This fight is interesting from a standpoint of, Stephen Fundora can't get hit, and if Keith Thurman can catch Stephen Fundora on that chin, because the thing about Keith Thurman is, he could take a punch. It's just is when he goes to his body, and Stephen Fundora is not a body puncher. He's more of he's a headhunter. So I think that could play to advantage to Keith Thurman. And I think with the experience of Keith Thurman, I think he could use that. He's been in big fights before. So I think that I'm rolling with the upset. Yeah, I'm going to go with Keith Thurman by knockdown TKO. I think he's going to catch Fundora in the mid-later rounds. And I think he's going to catch him, and I think he's going to win this fight. And it's going to be a discussion, and then Keith Thurman will be back in the limelight as 154. We'll possibly see some, other fights, maybe him and Boots or maybe him and Charlo, whatever. But, I think Keith Thurman regains that notoriety after he getting his W, and I got him winning.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I just seen so much with Fundora, and I think the length and the size can give Thurman some trouble. But I have seen Fundora's chin be demolished. You know what I mean? I think he is gettable. Now, I think there is a way. I think this is a 50-50 fight, me personally.
It is.
I think Fundora, he can jab, he can keep his distance. If he can find his distance with that length, I think he can win this with ease. But if he does allow Thurman to be able to get inside and give him some shots, able to test that chin, then I think Thurman could win this, and I think he could win this in impressive fashion to the point where I think he could get an opportunity for maybe a title fight or maybe an upper echelon contending shot where he can become the number one contender type of the situation. So I think this will be a good fight. I know
this is for the belt, though. This is for a belt.
Oh yeah, this is for the belt. So I do apologize. So yeah, he could win a championship. I do apologize about that. Look, I know I said my shit about Thurman. I know I've said many times, and I told Cris this. I'm not really excited for this fight, but at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, it will be an exciting fight. I think there will be some action involved with it. If I had to make a choice, I'm gonna go with Thurman just based off what I saw from Fundora last time. I'm gonna go with Thurman. I think he wins. I think he gets the knockout. I think he gets it within 6 rounds, and I think he's gonna be raising that belt, and he'll shut me up. So that's what I have.
For sure. Oh man. All right, man. You want to talk about Pablo Torre and Mike Florio?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that because this expansion draft kind of messed up, and I got to redo it again. So, so we'll talk about it. We'll talk about this. So, Pablo Torre's show, he had Mike Florio on, and they kind of talked about a little bit about everything that's been going on with the NFLPA. If people remember, they had some controversy, and then they had to hire a new NFLPA president. They ended up hiring a gentleman by the name of Jesse Trader. So there were some interesting things that Mike Florio was kind of talking about with the NFL, and I kind of wanted to get your thoughts about it. He kind of talked about as far as like all the secretiveness of them kind of going about finding their next NFLPA president, kind of saying J.C. Tretter was kind of like one. He kind of came out of nowhere, then doesn't really have a lot of experience in that field as far as like working unionization and stuff like that. He also did say there is a note that it could be a potential 2030 lockout. That is the deal, but he kind of made some deals that the NFL is kind of like in a deal making mode with CBS, Fox TV for extension deals as far as like other packages, kind of like maybe Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. He says the NFL is going to move very, very quickly and secretively throughout this whole situation. He said the NFL is going to come with a new CBA. It's going to be non-negotiable. They're going to win 18 regular season games and 16 international games per year. And the reason why a lot of people think why he's kind of saying that it's going to happen pretty quickly is because Atlanta, Super Bowl in 2028, they don't have a date yet. You know what I mean? That's kind of not normal in this fist, like because you got to book out conferences, conference rooms, you got to book out, conference halls and other places for the Super Bowl, because we all know how busy that is, but they don't have a date yet. So he kind of assuming that the 18 game season could be that, and it could be one of those situations where the Super Bowl is a little bit later. So he said that's unheard of. He says the 2020 season could be the season where 18 games does start. He says the NFL does want this. He thinks that a CBA deal will get done really quick because they're going to be in the light of that. They're going to bring this to Jesse Trader and all those guys and going to be like, look, we can either make this easy or you can make this hard. If you make this hard, we all know the result is going to be you guys are going to be in lockout, but then all your players are going to be bitching and complaining because they're missing out a check. And eventually you're going to give us what we want anyway. And then we're probably only going to take a little bit more because you made us go through this whole situation. So we can either make this deal, still make it profitable enough where you guys can be a little bit happy what's going on. But at the end of the day, we're going to get 18 games, and that's what's going to happen. He also says that more teams could be next after that. He thinks expansion could be involved. Obviously, we've heard teams about London, Mexico, and other regions. He thinks that's going to be more likely. And he thinks eventually, saying maybe not in his lifetime, but eventually, he thinks eventually they will get up to 20 games, no preseason games. And that he thinks that's going to be the ultimate goal. He says the NFL is also working into having games every day of the week. He says he's not surprised. He's surprised that they haven't gone into Tuesday and Wednesday nights because he says they saw that work during COVID. So he thinks that's eventually going to happen. He also thinks that eventually we will get Friday games. He thinks that's going to be the next domino, that they will get approved for Friday night and Saturday night games. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit tough with college football, but he thinks that's what's going to happen. And they kind of stopped it at that. I think they're going to kind of reconvene and kind of go forward with that. But what are your thoughts with this, man, with the whole CBA and kind of the future that Mike Florio kind of portrays that the NFL could be heading to?
Oh man, it seems like a mess. It sounds like a big mess. I've voiced my issues of hopefully, it isn't a lockout in 2030. You know what I'm saying? We almost had a lockout. What 2000? When was that last time they almost had that lockout? And they agreed on it like the last minute of the training camp. They finally came out. But anyway, but yeah, hopefully there's no lockout. But as far as the oversaturation of the NFL, I just think I don't know what they're trying to. I know what they're trying to achieve, money. But is it worth your product? You don't have. It's not like basketball. It's not like any other sport. Mm-hmm. Like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to expand the rosters. Like they're gonna have to have like bigger rosters so they guys can switch out, and you know what I'm saying, you might have to have dudes on pitch count.
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna be able to play a dude on if we got a game on Tuesday, I can't play all my, you know what I'm saying, I can't play this guy on Tuesday. I might have to play him on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And then I might have to play him on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's becoming too much. And it's too much wear and tear in this game that you're going to oversaturate. You're going to run down your players, and then you ain't going to have enough healthy players to have by the time the playoffs come.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying, you're always talking about player safety, but you want to put more on these players. Like, stop telling us that you care about the safety of the players. You don't. You care about the bottom line. You care about money.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all y'all ever cared about. All the 32 owners, you know, the NFL front office, like, and this is something that they got to figure out, this NFLPA, because that's the biggest problem. They have the worst union in all of sports. And this is why this stuff is happening. You don't see this in baseball. You don't see this in the NBA. They do not have a strong NFLPA. And the reason why is, you see in the NBA, most of the star players are in that room.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know who's in the union as far as the baseball. I don't know if it's stars, but whoever's running it, they doing a pretty damn good job over there. Even the WNBA got a strong, as we see, PA. You know what I'm saying? Because all their stars are in that room.
Yeah.
They got to figure that part out. Like, I don't know. They got to sit down with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrows, Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett, well, whoever. Like, all them dudes are gonna have to come together and get in that room, because that's the only way they're gonna get a strong front to where these owners are gonna listen. The star players are gonna have to be on the forefront, because they don't respect the NFLPA.
Yeah. And
then the NFLPA just takes whatever they want, because players, you know, they know the players are going to cave in, you know, because unfortunately some of these guys, they're not making, the top tier guys, even, you know, some of the mid tier guys are making money, but the dude on the practice squad, he ain't making no money.
Yeah.
The roster, the bottom tier of the roster, they ain't making that much money, and they can get cut any minute. So their job is not even solidified. So this is why this is happening. We can sit here and complain, and hell, we're still going to watch it, but we can sit here and complain all they want. But until the NFLPA gets their shit together, this is going to happen. They're going to get 18 games. Next thing you know, it's going to be 20 games, and be 25 games by 2030.
Yeah.
And they're going to be playing every day of the week. We're going to be watching football Monday through Sunday, and the game's going to get oversaturated. And by that time, we might not even want to watch football no more, because we ain't got enough players to watch the game, because all our star players are hurt. So I don't like it. I hope this isn't the direction, but the way stuff is going and the way things have gone, I think we are headed that way.
What do you think about expansion? Do you think
I've never been a fan of this whole trying to make a team in London and trying to make a team in Germany for what? Like, so now you're making, it's not fair that these set of players have to go to a different country and play, and then change their whole schedule and time around, and then make other teams from the US. I'm playing in LA and I gotta go to Germany.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a mess, and they just doing too much. Just keep it simple, dog.
Yeah.
Like, football is, like I said, it is too much wear and tear on that game. You don't have to try to expand it to a word. It's okay that it's confined to. Now, if you want to play a game in the UK, I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem that you want to expand it to Australia and Germany and Brazil. Okay, that's fine. You know, you want to play a game out there, that's fine. But making teams out there, nah. That's just too much.
Yeah.
This game was not meant for that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. I'm sorry. It wasn't meant for that. It is what it is, but they're gonna do what they do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, like I thought it was very interesting when he was kind of like speaking on certain things, and I just think that the NFL is going to look very interesting here in the next couple of years, and if we're already looking at next year being the potential of that being the start of an 18-game regular season. And then obviously, you know, I've said this before. You could clearly tell that they want to be able to own every day of the week, and it's going to become a situation of like, all right, well, obviously the product on the field doesn't matter. Obviously, the health of your players doesn't matter. Like we see it every time. Like any game that's any game, like Thursday night games. Like luckily last year, I feel like a majority of the Thursday night games were more quality. Now, could that be a situation where NFL teams and NFL players have gotten accustomed to Thursday night games where they kind of know how to kind of treat the week, treat their bodies, and kind of go about the week? That could be the situation. I think this year will kind of tell if that's going to be more of a trend or if that was just kind of like a one-stop shop, an anomaly to the situation. Now, we seen it with Christmas Day games. Wednesday, it didn't work. It was terrible. We saw, like, if you're telling me we're going to have Tuesday games, like, I just don't know how logistically you can have that, because you cannot sit here and say you want a team to play on a Sunday, which I know logistically that probably wouldn't happen. You will probably need, if you're going to start doing Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you might have to start having games every day of the week to justify you having a team play on a Tuesday. So that team that plays on a Tuesday might have to play a Thursday, so then they could play on a Tuesday or a Friday if they do want to play on a Wednesday. Like that might be the case. And we all know the NFL thinks they're the godly of God of all sports. Like I think, obviously, they're number one. Obviously, I think it's pretty much them in college football that are competing for number one, because I think Saturdays, I think college football, I think that I would be curious to see how NFL does on a college football night, because I think there is more fandom, I think, with college football, I think, than it is with the NFL, even though NFL is huge, but I think there's just more diehard with college football, because you went to a college for 4 years, you have the love, you know what I mean? It's just there's no changing a squad. But I think it's the same with the NFL. I think that would be interesting, and I would be curious to see how the college football kind of responds to that if NFL decides to get in on Friday nights and Saturday nights and stuff like that, especially Saturday nights. So I'll be kind of curious to see how college football kind of goes about that, especially with them kind of trending into being this like super league that I think eventually will happen within the next like 5 to 10 years. That's what I kind of believe. I think it could happen even sooner than that. But I just think it's going to be interesting. I really do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. You got any NBA news?
NBA news, yeah, we got a couple NBA news. First up, NBA Board of Governors. They finally, I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but they have officially approved the vote to open bidding processes for Seattle and Vegas. I also have a thing here stating that that Magic Johnson is aggressively pursuing a majority ownership stake in the future NBA expansion team in Las Vegas. Johnson met with the Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo and others this month to discuss the plan of ownership and building a state-of-the-art arena in Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip. The Los Angeles Lakers legend is already a minority owner of the Washington Commanders, Los Angeles Dodgers, Sparks, Los Angeles FC, and the Washington Spirit. Obviously, we did talk about a little bit of it, so you kind of express how you feel about the whole situation. But with this new news about Magic Johnson already speaking to our governor, Joe Lombardo, and aggressively pursuing this, what are your thoughts with Magic Johnson potentially owning this team, man? Does this give you a brighter think that we could actually be potential contenders sooner rather than later?
Yeah, because Magic Johnson, he's going to make sure that he's going to pull in all resources to make sure this team is going to be really good. Maybe not in the beginning, but he's going to try to do it as quick as he can. You know what I'm saying? Maybe year 3. We're talking about a playoff team at the very minimum. I'm all for Magic Johnson. He's a good businessman. He knows what he's doing, and you see what he's doing, trying to do with the Commanders, the Sparks, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he's doing. So I'm all for Magic Johnson being a part of that.
Yeah, man. If Magic Johnson is a part of this, I just think that solidifies us as being a legit. we're because at the end of the day, I know there's been this whole kind of conversation. I know I see the Vegas hate on Twitter. It could be bots or whatever the case may be. But look, Vegas deserves to have a team. Now, I know there's been conversation that there's not a lot of talent. I already went on my whole spiel on why I think that's completely wrong. My whole thing is it's all about how you run said program. It's how you run. It's how you run the building. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think if you have Magic Johnson being a partner of that, and we all know what he kind of alleviates, like we saw what he's doing with the Dodgers. He's kind of helping out the whole situation with the Lakers, with Mark Walter and all that. Obviously, Mark Walter wouldn't be a part of that, but could there be other people within that Mark Walter friend group that could be a part of this expansion group into going into Las Vegas, because we all know the prime market that is here. Brian Windhorst said it best. Seattle is probably a bigger market than Las Vegas, but I think the potential of Las Vegas is untapped, and we don't know what that could grow into. So I think it's very exciting. I think it's wonderful that Seattle. I'm super excited. Seattle's getting the Supersonics back. I can't wait to see those colors, see that jersey being on my TV screen. But I'm also super excited to see the potential of what the Las Vegas NBA team could potentially become. I think we could be the #1 destination for a lot of free agents due to no state income taxes, due to what Vegas brings to the table. Imagine you being the first ever superstar of the Las Vegas team and all the endorsement deals that you potentially could get on the Las Vegas Strip. Huh?
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I think he's more of a Georgia boy, but you never know. I think the lights of Las Vegas could gleam some eyes, and could they potentially get in the way of the Lakers of getting said stardom? Like, could they take away? Because you know me, I'm a big time Laker fan. I'll always be a Laker fan, but I will root for this Las Vegas team. But I do have some little worries about that. I know the Lakers will always be the storied franchise, and I know it'll always probably be #1 in just who they are as far as the Celtics. But look, you could get the same kind of stardom in Las Vegas and still keep more of your money. So I think that would speak a lot more. And we got to see what happens. And if you have Magic Johnson being a part of that, I think that kind of solidifies of us being legit. So
yeah, for sure.
Next up, man, earlier today, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics did play today. Boston Celtics, they ended up winning 119-109, giving OKC its first loss of the month. Shea had 33 points, 8 assists. Brown had 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. I think Jason Tatum had, a little less than 20 points, or maybe around there or something like that. What's your thoughts with this, man? Do you think this makes the Celtics, with this win, do you think if they potentially were to play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals, do you think this will give you more of a concern for the Thunder against the Boston Celtics?
No, I don't think it's a concern, but I think it'll be more of a challenge. I think it'll be better competitive. It's going to be a more competitive, game, because you can't take away with the Celtics. They've been there before. You know what I'm saying? They've won a championship, and I think they'll be a formidable opponent. I think, what's the coach's name for the Celtics?
Damn, what's his fucking name?
Regardless, the brother over there.
Go ahead, keep talking. I can figure it out.
But he coaches those boys up good. And look, I know the Thunder are very immense.
Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah. But I think the Celtics can give them a challenge. Will I still pick the Thunder winning that finals? Yeah, I would. But I think the Celtics could keep up with them for sure.
No, I agree with you. Also, 76ers looks like they're getting healthy. They got Embiid and Paul George back. Paul George coming off that 25-game suspension. Embiid coming off some rest with his knee. They beat the brakes off the Bulls. They end up scoring 157 points to 137. Paul George had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Embiid had 35 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, Embiid had 35. This is all without Tyrese Maxey. I think VJ Eshcom had around 20 points. So my question to you is, with the Sixers, if they can stay healthy, and we all know that's the biggest if in the whole entire world. If they can stay healthy, where would you place the 76ers in having a chance to win the East?
They're behind the Knicks, Celtics. If they can stay healthy, they'd be third.
So you have them above the Pistons?
Only because of the Cade Cunningham situation.
I'll say this. If the Sixers are healthy and we get this kind of production, I think they will be my favorites in the East. I think that would be my favorites. Now, again, this is the biggest if in the fucking world. It's the biggest if in the world. I'm not going to put money on it, but if they stay healthy and you get this production from Paul George, Embiid, you're going to get Tyrese Maxey back. You got VJ Eshcom. You got depth on that O-line. Who's guarding Joel Embiid? It's not going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. It's not going to be Mitchell Robinson. Celtics are too small. I think the Pistons could match up a little bit well just because of the physicality on that defense, but we do not know how well Cade Cunningham is going to come back coming off that collapsed lung. Look, I think the Knicks will probably. I could see people having the conversation. The Knicks still being better. I will give you that. But again, Embiid always has a field day going up against the Knicks. They always match up well going up against the Knicks. And if they can stay healthy, I would have the Sixers. I personally would.
Okay.
But they gotta stay healthy though. They gotta stay
healthy.
They gotta stay healthy. Now, I don't know if that shit will happen, but time always.
That's why I was when you said 35 for Embiid. I said 35.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, 35 and 6. When Embiid has been playing, he's looked like Embiid. Like he's looked like Embiid. He's put up Embiid numbers. Obviously, it's just about him staying healthy, and I think that's always the biggest question. And Paul George too, and Tyrese Maxey. So, but yeah, that's it for NBA news though.
For sure. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Maul's Random News.
Yep.
It is now time for Maul's Random News.
Yes, sir. We all know what time it is. My favorite time. We all know it's Chris's favorite time. We all know it's y'all's favorite time. You know, a whole bunch of topics that normally don't make it to the main docket, but they do make it on Random News, and we do love to hear Chris's opinions about other stuff than the Chiefs, because we all get tired of hearing talking about the Chiefs. So
I don't even talk about the Chiefs.
Sir, are you ready for this week's Random News?
Go ahead.
All right, so we'll start it off with a trailer. They did release the new trailer of the new Harry Potter series that will be coming out on HBO. Let's play it and let's get Chris's thoughts. 1 second. And here we go.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special? There is nothing special about you.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever, and they stood up for what they believed was right. The next time I see you will be in Hogwarts.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. Let's see who you are.
Are you really Harry Potter?
So that was a new trailer for the Harry Potter series that will be coming out this Christmas, this year. Not sure how big of a Harry Potter fan you are, but with that trailer, what are your thoughts, man? With
I've never seen that one Harry Potter movie.
You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. You should be ashamed of yourself. How can you not watch Harry Potter? Harry Potter is one of the greatest movie series of all time.
I've never watched.
You should give it a shot, man.
I'm not saying it. I just never.
Give it a shot. I'm telling you, give it a shot. Give it a shot. I think you would truly enjoy.
But
Harry
this
Potter.
does look interesting. This perks my interest. I will.
I'll say this, since Cris is hating on the Harry Potter series.
I'm not hating on it. I didn't say it was bad.
Again, Cris is hating on the Harry Potter series. Hopefully he can, get into the groove. I'll say this coming from a Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter. Big Harry Potter fan. My sister's a big Harry Potter fan. She's diehard. She's more diehard than me. But I'll say this. I was kind of sus about the whole situation of them kind of redoing the Harry Potter in the series. But I would say this, watching that trailer, it got me really excited. I'm really excited what it looks like, kind of the whole HBO feel to it. Hopefully they will do this better than kind of how they did The Last of Us and certain aspects of The Last of Us. Obviously, it's, you know, two different things, but I'm excited. I'm just gonna say that I'm excited. I'm intrigued. They got my attention. I will be tuning in. All right, next up, a little bit of NBA news. The NBPA is calling for the 65-game rule to be abolished or reformed to create an exception for significant injuries in the case of Cade Cunningham. I think his agent even came out with that. Obviously, Cade did get hurt last week with a knee to his ribs that ended up giving him a collapsed lung. He's only, I think he only needs like 4 or 5 more games to actually complete the 65-game rule, so he can be eligible to get All NBA, be in consideration for MVP and stuff like that. And also, we all know All NBA can affect your pay for future contracts as well. So what are your thoughts with the NBPA calling for the 65-game rule to be abolished or reformed?
I'm not mad at it if they want to reform it. But I'm also, you know, not mad that, you know, the NBA wants to keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, you know, 65 games, I think that's doable. You know what I'm saying? I know players get hurt and all that stuff, but I think that's a doable number for them to complete so they can, you know, be a part of the all NBA teams, the MVPs, all that good stuff. So I'm cool either way.
I'll say this. I feel them, but at the same time, I don't. Because you know why? The NBA players did it to themselves. The only reason why they got the 65-game rule is because y'all were so lazy. Y'all didn't want to play the games. Y'all wanted to rest every single time. So now if you start, you know, doing reforms and all that stuff like that, I think you'll just find more loopholes for NBA players to not play said games. So I say no. Keep it 65. I feel bad for Cade. Maybe it could be a situation where they still have the 65-game rule, and then the MVP and the NBA can come out and they can submit a form to maybe get that give them an exemption in that, but it'll have to be like a thoroughly, you know, detailed kind of reasoning behind it, and it's just not going to be given out all willy-nilly. Maybe they can do a situation like that, but no. Keep the 65-game rule. Next up, Henry Ruggs, man, he's on parole. I think he'll be on parole in August of this year. And then there are quotes. Well, I won't even say the quotes because I don't know if they're real or not. Kind of quotes saying that he would love to play the Raiders, but I'm not going to say they're real. But I will say this. Because we all know it'll be eventually when Henry Ruggs gets out. I think he will only be about 27 years old. Do you think Henry Ruggs will get another opportunity to play in the league? And how soon do you think that would happen?
No later than when will he get released?
He'll be officially up for parole in August, so he potentially could get out sometime this year.
Well, if he gets out sometime this year, then there's a possibility. I wouldn't say this season, next season for sure.
Yeah, this season no, but yeah, maybe that 2027 season, maybe legit. Do you think he deserves to have another opportunity?
I mean, this is a tough situation because he did end up, you know, unaliving a woman and, you know, unaliving a dog, you know, in a car accident. And, you know, there's nothing that he could do that can, you know, really make up for that. But at the end of the day, he paid his debt to society. And if the people deem him, you know, able to get out for parole, then, you know, he should be able to get a job. And if an NFL team wants to bring him on, bring him on.
Nah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, if a team's willing to give him an opportunity, I think he deserved that opportunity. I agree with you. He did his time. He seemed very remorseful throughout this whole situation. He didn't run away from the situation. He didn't try to hide from the situation. He owned up to the situation. And yes, was it something that was tragically done that I think there will be a group of fans and a group of people who will probably protest him getting the opportunity to do that. I would find that if anybody needs to protest, it should be the family of the young lady and the dog. Yeah. If they have a problem with that, then that's on them. I think they have every right. But every one of us, I think at the end of the day, I don't think we have that right. I think he's done his debt. I think he paid his dues. If he's willing to get a job and an opportunity with the NFL and he has skills to do that, then do it. I think he does need to go to a team that is solidified in who they are, who does have a strong base that can protect him and be there to nurture him and have him in the right direction. Could the Raiders be that? I would find that a little hard for him to play for the Raiders. I think when he does have the opportunity, I think this team could resemble a situation where he could be protected with the likes of Tom Brady, with the likes of Fernando Mendoza, with Max Crosby, guys who, I think who are very strong-willed guys, who are very spiritual guys, who could I think ease the situation. I just think it would be kind of hard for him to be on the team that he did get arrested on, but I wouldn't rule it all the way completely out, but I think it'll be harder. I think a situation for him will be like maybe the Chiefs. I could see a situation of Andy Reid still there. I think he could be like a warmful guy. I think he's willing to give opportunities to another guy. I think the Dallas Cowboys, I think that could be another situation. I think Jerry Jones is well known for giving guys an opportunity if they're worth it on the football field. Maybe Detroit Lions with Dan Campbell or a situation like that. It has to be a situation like maybe Harbaugh with, they need another receiver. I think it'll be a situation like that where strong head coaches who know who they are, great foundational franchises who can be comfortable in putting them in that situation. At the end of the day, Henry Ruggs, you did your time. I hope you find peace, and I hope you are able to do what you want to do. And still prayers out to that young lady and that dog and her family and that tragic loss as well. I think you could say two things at once for both parties. Next up, per Reuters, obviously we all know that we are still going through the government shutdown. We do see the long lines and all that stuff like that. Elon Musk came out and said he is willing to pay TSA workers to get them back to work, to get these lines flowing, to get everybody to begin on their flights on time. Let's get back to normal stuff like that. But per Reuters, the White House rejected said offer from Elon Musk to pay TSA workers and continuously having a situation where TSA workers are unpaid. What are your thoughts with this, with the White House denying Elon Musk offering to pay the TSA workers?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
We all know Elon Musk got money out the wazoo, and he is able to afford to pay these people. Why not let them pay him? Why are y'all stopping him? Let them do it.
Yeah.
This is a whole mess.
Well, his whole presidency has been a mess. And look, I'm not the biggest fan of Elon Musk. He said some wild things as well. But look, if he's willing to pay and help, everybody be able to move forward, because look, I'll be honest with you, I think all this traveling stuff is affecting a lot of places, including here out in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's affecting businesses, that's affecting things going on. So we got to get this ball rolling and all that stuff. All right, next up, Hubert Davis of North Carolina Tar Heels. Obviously they had a disappointing run where they gave up a 19-point lead and end up losing in the first round. He was ultimately let go of his duties yesterday. And there have been some names that have been popped up to said replace this UNC job. We've heard the likes of Billy Donovan. He used to be the old coach at Florida, won those championships with Joakim Nolan and all those guys. We also heard the name Jay Wright, the old Villanova head coach who has recently been out of basketball. I'm not sure whether he feels rejuvenated to get back in the flow of things and all that. But my question to you is, sir, is how precious do you think this job is compared to the likes of like Duke and Kansas and all that? Do you think this is still an upper echelon job? And between those two names, Billy Donovan and Jay Wright, or maybe another name you could think of, who do you think should, have the opportunity to take this job?
Do I think it's still a prestigious job? Yes, it's in North Carolina. You still getting 5-star recruits to go there. So yeah, like come on, Caleb Wilson is about to be a top 5 pick. So so I do think it's a prestigious job, but I don't know, man. I guess I would edge Billy Donovan.
Okay.
I think I would edge him over Jay. I just think Jay Wright's been out of the game for a long time. How long has Billy Donovan been out?
He hasn't coached since in college. It's been a while. It's been longer than Jay Wright's been retired. He's still been consistently coaching basketball. He's currently with the Bulls, but there are rumors that he doesn't want to coach the Bulls anymore, and that he might be leaning more towards going back to college. So,
and that's the thing. I think at least he's still coaching basketball, like Jay Wright's been. And look, maybe Jay Wright took a step back. He's watched the game from afar, so he's getting a better perspective. And maybe he was already a good coach when he was at Villanova, so maybe he could. This is UNC, man. Like, it's different now. Like, At least Billy Donovan, even though he's in the NBA, he still deals with NIL from afar because he still has to draft these players and all that good stuff. So I think he would have a better idea of how to handle the NIL situation and be able to recruit. We already know he will be probably a good recruiter. But yeah, I would lean towards Billy Donovan because he's still in the game, even though he's in the pro game. I think he would be fine to go to UNC and get recruits and get guys to come play for UNC.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be mad at either one. I kind of tend to agree with you. I think Billy Donovan, him still consistently coaching, even though it hasn't been in college basketball, I would be curious to see how he would handle the situation because he hasn't been coaching college basketball with the NIL around, and neither has Jay Wright. So I think both of them will kind of be new at that in that situation. But honestly, either one I would be cool with. So next up, I got this little video. I'm gonna play a little bit. You're the man that's married, so I thought it'd be cool. I want to hear your opinion on this a little bit, and then get your answers on it.
For my number, and I give him my. Is it cheating if I go out with my girls and a guy buys me a drink?
Do you think that's cheating?
Oh man, I think that's inviting a situation. You're allowing a man to buy you a drink. I know women, they do it all the time. They get a man, buy him a drink, and then they be like, "Oh, I'm all right, I'm leaving." You know what I'm saying? I got a man, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But I think it can be a dangerous situation too because she tells him, "Nah, it's if she like goes along with it and then says, 'Oh, I got a man,' he could get vile-tailed and do some crazy shit." You know what I'm saying? So, but I personally think that it's just inviting negative, imagery. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like she could be out with her homegirls, and you see my lady getting drinks from hey man, that was your lady. She was kind of chilling with this dude. He was getting drinks for all them, kicking it, laughing. That's gonna look bad, even though she may think in her mind that it's harmless, and women do that. Oh, it's harmless. Oh, I didn't want to go do nothing, but still, you're inviting unwanted, situations to happen when you do that. So I personally don't think it is right. I don't think it's good. What I say is cheating. I wouldn't call it cheating, but it's walking the line.
Okay,
it's inviting it.
Okay, we got a little bit more off this video. See what your opinions are.
No.
Oh, I'm surprised at that.
It's not cheating. It's we let some ladies come into our section.
So he asked if it's cheating if him and his friends are at the club and we let some ladies into the section. Is that cheating? Would you consider that cheating?
Why are you letting them in this? We all know why you let women into this section. Like, come on, you think they're attractive, you think they look good, they're good for the optics, you get VIP, you got the bottles popping, you got beautiful women. And look, you may be harmless, you may just want to have a good time, have some beautiful women in the section. Cool, that's fine. But still, the optics, it's just all about the optics, bro. If me and you out and we invite some women to the section, they be like, somebody call my lady, like, "Hey, Cris out with Maul." They got two girls over there, they dancing all over the ring and shit. It's gonna look bad.
Nah, it would definitely be a problem. It definitely be a problem.
Cheating. It's not any energy. That's the only way it's not cheating.
Got it.
If a guy asks me for my number and I give him my Instagram,
is that cheating?
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
It's the same energy.
Same shit. He said no because it has pictures. It's pretty much her and him in all of his pictures.
It don't matter. Them DMs. She trying to be sneaky with the DMs, and you can erase all that shit on them DMs too. So
no, it's not cheating.
Don't nobody want to tussle with you.
If I go out to lunch with a female friend solo,
is that cheating?
That's a little different. It depends. because you have to establish with your lady that this is my home girl. You know what I'm saying? And like you got to be, can't be on no sneaky shit. Like you got to be so comfortable that your woman knows that you're not attracted to this woman. This is just your friend. Y'all almost like sister and brother type shit. I'm going out to lunch with such and such. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, y'all be cool.
Yeah.
Tell her I said hi.
I feel you. I feel like most females would probably be like, nah, hell no.
Yes, definitely. If I'm out with my girlfriends and a guy asks for a dance,
is that cheating?
Yeah. It's one of those walking the line thing of how you dancing.
Yeah.
Get your ass all on them and shit.
Right. Yeah.
No. Sit your ass down.
So you say, yeah, that's cheating?
Yeah.
Or that's tender in the line, huh?
Yeah,
is it a line dance?
I'm a little bit distanced. You ain't going for that one.
I'm going for that one.
Oh, okay.
I don't sit right in my spirit.
So that's cheating.
I think that's a little too far. If I walked in, I would definitely have to hit you upside the head with a foam roller or something. If a girl posts her Cash App for her birthday and I send her a couple $100.
Any?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, my brother, that's cheating like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna cut. That's cheating.
Why are you doing that?
That's cheating. All right, man, that was it from that one. We'll keep it going though. Next up, Ty Simpson is scheduled to hold a private workout this Friday with the Jets. Jets have the number 2 pick and the number 16 in the first round of this year's draft. Do you think the Jets will end up ultimately drafting Ty Simpson?
Come on, Jets. Number 2. Get him at number 2. Push them defensive ends down the line.
Yeah.
Because I think River Bain is gone.
Yeah, he'll be gone. So next up, a mom who killed a boyfriend and cut off his genitals after catching him raping her daughter is cleared of murder. What are your thoughts with that?
Good for her. Good for her. Yes.
I agree. We'll keep it going. Next up, statistics have shown in a recent study that going to an HBCU might be better for Black students' health. According to a recent study, at age 62, Black adults who had attended an HBCU had better memory and cognitive function than those who attended a PWI. What are your thoughts with this recent study?
It's an interesting study.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to go to a HBCU. I didn't go to college, but I always wanted to have that experience. So that's an interesting study. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's definitely interesting. So
very interesting. I'll have to read more about it. Next up, Pat Bev says Dame is not a Hall of Famer. Says, quote, hell no. I love Dame. It's too many people getting in the Hall of Fame. How are we going to say no to Derrick Rose getting MVP and say yes to Dame Lillard? If he gets a chip, then for sure. Quote. What are your thoughts with Pat Bev saying Dame is not currently a Hall of Famer?
What are we doing, man? Dame Lillard in the Hall of Fame. They let everybody else in.
You got a point, though. You got a point. If we're gonna say no to Derrick Rose, how can we say yes to Damian Lillard?
Derrick should get in too. Shit.
Do you think a lot of people are getting into the Hall of Fame that don't deserve to get in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I had to look at the Hall of Fame. They done made it so easy now because they count your college years. So
yeah, I think it's like that with a lot of sports, though. You can look at that. The NFL may be a little bit longer, but a lot of people still get in the NFL.
I think the hardest one to get into is the baseball.
Baseball one is the hardest one, yeah.
So I don't know. I think both of them should get in.
There you go. We'll leave it at that. We'll continue with Patrick Beverley. He made some more comments. He said he'd take LeBron James with the number 1 overall pick over Wemby if they were in the same draft class. What are your thoughts with this? Do you agree or disagree?
I think this is a hindsight 2020 question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to not take, I get it. If you wanted to take Wemby, I get it. He's a physical freak. We've never seen anything like Wemby. But before Wemby, that was LeBron James.
Yeah.
We had never seen it. We seen like templates of LeBron, but we ain't never seen LeBron James. Like, this dude was amazing coming out of high school. Like, the way, like, This dude was just different. You know what I'm saying? So I get why somebody would say that, but I just think it's so hindsight 2020.
With all due respect, I'm taking one beyond, dog. Come on, dog. You're not gonna sit here. This is before we know anything LeBron James is gonna be. This is before we knew everything is gonna be. You're taking the 7'6" guy who plays like Kevin Durant 10 out of 10 times, bro. You are. He's gonna be a defensive specimen, and the way he plays offense and what he's capable of doing, you're gonna take Wemby all day, every day. It's just I don't understand how that's even a question. All right, next up, Philadelphia mayor wants to add a $1 per ride tax for Ubers and Lyft to invest in the Philadelphia school district classrooms. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good investment? Do you think that's good, or do you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, definitely want to invest in the education. If it's going to a good cause, I get it. You know what I'm saying? If he just taxing just to be taxing, then yeah, that's a problem. But
yeah,
if it's really going to the educational system, all right, fine.
Yeah, I would say if it's for sure gonna go, then cool. But we all know, man, most of the time they get to keep about 75% of that dollar. You know what I mean? So we'll see what's up. We'll keep it going. Next up, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act in a voice vote on Tuesday, advancing a bill supported by UFC and WWE owner and TKO Group Holdings that would create an alternative system for boxers and reshape the American boxing industry. The bill would establish uniform boxing organization, UBOs, that would compete for the services of boxers alongside existing boxing organizations, competition that might increase benefits for boxers who stand to gain from organizations bidding for their services. UBOs would not replace any existing boxing organizations. The bill will still need approval by the U.S. Senate and ultimately the signature of President Donald Trump, but it's backed up by, Dana White and all them. So you would assume this would get approved. What's your thoughts with this Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act being passed through to the next stage? What do you think this could mean?
So what is this bill initially saying? Like,
so at least from what I'm reading upon this, pretty much, I don't know if this is like a new union in a sense, like a boxing union in a sense, where you have the capability of, taking your talents to other organizations or something like that. It to me, it sounds like more of like a union-based thing or something like that. That's what it kind of sounds like to me, where you get better health benefits and actually competition to, increase, maybe fighter pay and all that stuff like that. So.
Okay, so it keeps from promoters having, control over their fighters and help them as far as ticket sales and prevent promoters from forcing boxers into long-term restrictive deals. Okay, yeah.
Kind of like a union thing a little bit, you know what I mean? Some protection and stuff like that. Yeah,
the boxers need that most definitely.
Yeah, they do. So you agree with it, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next up, man, the MGM. Resorts, they dropped its $300 all-in deal for Luxor and Excalibur. You get a 2-night stay at Luxor or Excalibur with double occupancy, including all resort fees. You get 3 meals per day per guest, covering breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Redeemable at a selection of MGM Resorts restaurants across Luxor, Excalibur, MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, and New York, featuring dedicated menus with a wide variety of options and beverages included. You get 2 tickets to one MGM Resorts show per stay with 6 distinct options, including popular headliners and signature productions. You get 2 rides on the Big Apple Coaster at New York, one of the Strip's most iconic thrill attractions, and you get self-parking for 1 vehicle at any MGM Resort Las Vegas property. What are your thoughts with this new $300?
Goddamn time, MGM. Do something. Yeah, charging all these high-ass prices. You need to do something for the people.
Yeah.
I saw this earlier today. It was like about damn time.
Yeah, you see, they ain't say Bellagio, Oreo, or Cosmo, though. He never go.
Beggars can't be choosers, man.
And we can send y'all ass to Luxor and Excalibur, but not even MGM Grand, not even MGM Grand.
It's all inclusive, baby. We get 3 meals, we getting drinks. Like,
I said, we can do some,
we
but it
need
ain't
some
gonna be
good-
at the property that you want.
At least it ain't circus.
And then you know what? I got another thing. I got to see these restaurants that you're gonna provide. They
I think they're decent restaurants.
I know. I didn't see the specific restaurants that they said.
It's I think the Tap Bar. I think it is, which is pretty good. I think I went there with the lady. It's pretty good.
No, okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Come on.
This chair always be sinking.
Yeah, it's the buffet at the Excalibur, Tap Sports Bar, Pyramid Cafe, Backstage Deli, Public House, Diablo's Cantina, the New York Tom Watch Bar, Mandalay Bay Noodle Soup, MGM Grand Buffet in their Tap Sports Bar. So,
Okay. All right, next up, we got a couple more, man, and we can finish it off. There were some comments from Usher about Diddy. I'll play this little clip and hear your thoughts.
It's the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history. But in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created. And I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy. Yeah. He told Shannon Sharp, you learned it.
All right, that was just some small comments he had about Diddy after we all found out in his sentences and all that. What are your thoughts with that?
That's tough, man, because look, Usher, he coming from a standpoint of, P. Diddy started his career off. That's who he started with. And, in the beginning, he was with Diddy, and then Diddy, kind of sent him to JD because he felt like, when Usher first came out, he was a teenager, but his stuff was just too grown. It was too risque for somebody to be his age. So he sent him to JD because JD was, known for working with the younger acts, Chris Cross. You know what I'm saying? So the brat, you know what I'm saying? So he took Usher on his wing, and now we got the Usher that we know to this day. Yes, has P. Diddy, from a musical standpoint, yes, P. Diddy has given us great acts from Biggie to 112, so on and so forth. Day 26, Daddy can't he's contribute to the music business, but that should not overshadow the heinous things that he has been called to the rug for. And I just think that some things just don't need to be said. I think Usher should have just kept that one to himself. Like, yes, you can acknowledge to yourself or maybe to your circle, yes, his legacy should be on. But for him to say, what did he say? Pretty much that the things that are said about him are not true, almost. And there's just too many evidence and too much people coming out saying that it is true. And we've been hearing for years about how P. Diddy, not just his heinous acts, with the sex stuff, but with the business side too. I've heard countless artists say that he's cutthroat, that he's not a good, like he does backhand shit. 50 has said it. The Locks went through shit with him. Mace went through shit with him. Like Biggie was going through shit with him before he passed away. So
Danny
it's just
Kane.
like, yeah. So Day 26, like, it's not like, dude, that maybe your experience was an anomaly, Usher, because you're Usher, and you had your mother there, and she was your manager, so she wasn't gonna take no bullshit from P. Diddy, and not everybody had that. So I feel like B Diddy took advantage of certain people because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm not discounting what he did in the music business. Yes, Bad Boy is very instrumental and tremendous in the hip hop and R&B genre. He's given us big acts, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, like P Diddy had a hand in all of those, but it does not overshadow what he did as far as some of the heinous stuff that he did to these people. So
yeah, I totally agree. All right, next up, man. Seems like US got me fucked up. So US Army is increasing the maximum enlistment age from 34 to 42 starting later this year. What are your thoughts with this, sir?
I missed a cut, baby.
Man, fuck this nigga. Man, y'all ain't gonna. Yeah, I will be honest with you. If I get drafted, bro, y'all ain't never seen me again, bro. Y'all never seen Jamal Blacknall ever again. My name gonna be Jaime Vargas. I'm living in Cuba, bro. Somewhere very far away. Yeah, I'm Gucci on that. All right, man. We'll end it on this with your favorite rapper currently right now. He made some comments. Let's get it and get your opinion.
Not listening to your engineer.
Not at all.
The way that you responded.
Not at all.
The way that you've been handling it this whole time.
Not at all.
No regrets at all.
None.
Do you think you've said anything wrong?
No.
Is there somebody in your life that will hit you and call and like be like, "Hey, you tripping"?
The engineer.
Well, no, I'm talking about.
If I'm really tripping,
yeah. What did that person have to say about this?
These niggas stupid.
These niggas stupid.
Yep.
You got another person?
It's fake outrage. I can make whatever art comes to me. Anybody who makes music, you know, at a level where you really rapping about something, not just bullshit, but rapping about life. And as an artist, it's our job to put art out into the world, however that may come. I don't have to change my art because it makes you uncomfortable.
Was there a time where throughout this process where you were like, maybe if I said it this way, they would understand what I'm saying? And then the second part to that question is, do you understand where other people are coming from?
No,
okay.
Because
tell everything.
When I said free Palestine, there was people who was offended. Am I supposed to apologize to them? When I made 20 shots and I talk about them niggas killing Stevante Clark and shooting them 20 times, it's people who's offended. I'm supposed to apologize. It's my art. If I maliciously meant to hurt you and it's like, damn, that was a miss on my end, like I could recognize when it is. Like with the Wayne shit, it was like, damn, I could see how that is.
I used to think like when I say stuff, I don't own none of the responsibility if I say something, my intention is not malicious. And then I had to learn like, oh, these is human beings. They have feelings and emotions and stuff like that. So I understand that when you add the biblical nuance to it, because now you impeding on their core values. Do you get that perspective or?
No, because I feel like that shit be fake.
I agree with
like
you.
Like all the niggas I see talking all these core values and we don't believe this. It's like, bro, we see what your homies on. We see what your uncle's on. We see what your cousin's on. We see what's on your playlist.
Your caption said, my engineer told me not to put this up. That comes off as arrogant. And like you said, this is art, with all due respect. As a rapper, I don't think you did a well job of setting up the bar, if that makes sense. The first thing that people is going to is, oh shit, he said Epstein. And then you mix Epstein in the box with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. And then you said, and even you, like and Hitler, like I'm like Hitler and Epstein. Now, I'm not a rapper either, but I am into like rap and battle rap. Fab said, never trust shit. Even the devil was an angel. Obviously, he not telling us that an angel and the devil is, it's the same person. So I think that if you delivered it in a different way and you set it up differently, then people would have been able to more so relate to it.
Yeah, and I feel that, but it's my art. And maybe somebody else could deliver it differently. Like if you had a child, that's heaven sent, correct? Was all them niggas not a child?
The children are heaven sent, but the monsters is the devil.
That has nothing to do with God. What you do after I place you here is within your free will. That's what you become. The world gets you.
Have you talked to your engineer about this?
So anyway, that was kind of we all know Russell, making, there's been a lot of controversy around him during his Heavy Scent song, with that response. What are your kind of thoughts with what he said?
That he's tone deaf, and that he just trying to he don't want to seem like he's wavering. That's what it seems like. He wants to stand 10 toes down on what he feels. And for him not to understand why people are at an uproar, it's like, bro, just admit it. You used the word the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You could have said it in a way where we're all created by God, and you know what I'm saying, and everybody's created by God, and I do agree. We all have free will. God has given us free will to choose our own path, which way we want to go. But you could have delivered that message a lot better. But to say heaven sent means somebody's a blessing.
Yeah.
And Adolf Hitler, Trump, and Epstein ain't heaven sent. So, and look, man, hopefully this doesn't ruin your career, but it's not looking good for you, my boy.
Yeah, nah. And that is it with random news this week.
Did you get the expansion draft thing?
Yeah, it's ready.
All right, let's go ahead and do it.
All right, man, let's do it, man. I know it's getting late, so we ain't gonna take too much more of your time and our time. So we'll do an expansion draft. So how the expansion draft will work? Let me share this real quick. So as you can see, every team has the opportunity to protect 8 players. So what I did with this one is I went forward to the next year's draft, 2027, 2028. So there are some names that will be on here that you would think like, don't you think they would kind of protect this player? But you got in mind, this is going to be 2 years down the road. Some of these players will be older. Some of these players don't have any trade value. And if they can eventually get off these contracts, they will do it. Now, will these said teams take those contracts? That's another story. But we'll play along with it. We'll get it started. Well, I'll let you choose. Which team do you want to be? Do you want to be Seattle or do you want to be Las Vegas?
Vegas, man.
All right, I'll let you be Vegas. All right, so we'll start. We'll run this draft, and I'm on the clock. So for my first overall pick, as you can see, you got the likes of Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Domantas Sabonis, Zion Williamson. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna still probably pick Ja. I'll probably pick Ja. Let me see. Is it gonna pick it or not?
Is it available? I think you probably have to push the plus on.
Why is this thing not working? It was working earlier. I don't know why it's not working now. Come on, okay. Let's restart it. See what that is. Or do I have to drag it? No.
It might mean you can only pick the green.
Pick the green. All right, let's pick Anthony Davis. Let's see what happens. No. All right, 1 second, guys. So this thing was working. Now it does not want to work. All right, you know what? Let's just try this another day. This thing ain't working, so I ain't gonna take too much of the time. I don't know why it's not working. It was working earlier. All right, we'll try again on Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
Try again on Monday. I'll try to find a new one.
All righty. All right, people. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If you want to donate to the Chris Mall Podcast, you can donate to our Cash App, $ Chris Mall Podcast. We'll appreciate whatever you want to donate. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, we are available. If you first time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the live. You can talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. Give us your opinion. Agree with us, disagree with us. We want to hear from you. Just subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Threads, Kick, whatever you use to do your social media on, follow us at Cris Lamar. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. If you have a question or if you have a critique or feedback, or if you have a question or topic, and we like said question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead, hit us up via DM, emails, or our mentions. All right, good people. Until Monday, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy March Madness. Baseball season is full speed. And we will be Monday to talk about everything. Till then, we are out.
Peace out.